SI, and then what their contact information is. For the system owner, we can also ask the GC for this information, but it's also easy enough to look at the UPN on the device tag name and just pull it from the system owners list that I've shown you in the SIP and e-request training. It's just that spreadsheet that's on your Intel computer on the VPN network. So for this, let's see if I can pull up an example. So I had our general foreman out in Oregon say, hey, we have these points to OAT over in our MSB building in Oregon. They are for the safety shower and eye wash station. So this was part of our Bundle 11 CPK03 project. So in order to start pulling and navigating where those documents are, I'm going to go into the open projects folder. So our projects folder is going to look a little bit different just because it's for Arizona. But for this example, I'm pulling from the Oregon job folder. So this was part of IPJ 6016 job number. Here, we're going to go into the drawings folder, and we're always going to want to pull it from the IFC drawings. That's the issued for construction. So that's what we should be building and adhering to. So under the IFC drawing set, a couple things we're going to need is the location drawings, which is going to be the device locations, which are going to be in INC. The other thing that we're going to need to provide him is the P and ID drawings. So it looks like they did provide us with P and IDs. That's great. And they're right next to the INC drawings. So I'm going to go down to my INC drawings, and I'm going to look for the actual location of the instruments that we are going to be OATing. So this is on the safety shower and eye wash station. So I'm going to be looking for the email from my foreman. So it's going to be these QS and XV points. So 272 is going to be the system. So when we look for the system owner, we'll look under UPN 272 under building MSB. And it looks like it's 1640A and 1740A. So we're going to look in our scope bubble. It looks like I have my XV 1740As here, my QS 1740A. I also have my 16 up here. So that's going to be one of the pages. That I'm going to pull. So I'm just going to start a new one. So we have the location drawings now. I'm going to go to my PN IDs. And I am going to pull. So that's the piping and instrumentation drawings. Anything. So this is the pump. And Chase, maybe you can answer this. Will you need for the pumps to the safety showers, since it's at 272, 1640, and 1740, will you need this PNID?
No, not usually, especially with safety showers, because they're all just 3 points tied into it. Those are pretty cut and dry.
So that makes this a whole lot easier. So here we have the QS and the XV. And this applies to both 16 and 17, correct? Chase, looking at this X right there, it's applicable to the 16 and 17?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I've always assumed, but I want to make sure I'm giving the correct information here.
Oh, that's right.
So we're looking at, so let's go back to that email. So QS 272-1640A, the XV 272-1640, and then the 1740. Coming into here, I see my XV points, my QS points. It's all related to the 16 and 17-40 system. So I'm going to pull this P&ID. Make sure I include that. And that should be it. So I have my location drawings for the points from the INC set. I have my P&ID for those points. And then I'm just going to just save this to attach to my OAT calendar invite. So just put in a general description of what we're doing. So the next thing that he needs is the PMD from the specs and any data sheets. Started notating where you can find all these. So now we're going to go into the specs folder. So that's going to be under the IFC drawings as well. We're going to go under specs. So the PMD is always going to be this 251401.01. Show you what that looks like. So it's going to show exactly those points that our general foreman provided us. So all the QX and XV points that we need to be OATing, and it's on the install PMD. Sometimes these PMDs will have extra pages. So like an install PMD and a demo PMD, just like we have install and demo drawings. So just make sure that we're looking at the right header and looking at the correct points on this side. So we'll include that from our specs folder. Let me draft up an email. So you can kind of see what that would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this. I'm going to go ahead and pull my location and P&ID drawings. I'm going to look for any data sheets for the, let's say there's any PLCs or RIOs that we've installed. I want to make sure that I include those. Don't need, these are the IO point reservations. This should align exactly with what we have on the PMD, so it's not needed. Those are ECRs. And I'm looking in section 40 for our data sheets for any devices. You can see that I have my XVs in there. They're going to need a copy of that too. So any devices or instrumentation that we purchased or installed, they'll come with the data sheet. We'll want to make sure we include that. So now I have my PMD attached. I have my data sheets. I have my INC location drawings, my P&ID drawings. Now I need to let him know who the system integrator is and what their contact information is and who the system owner is. So on this one, so system integration is WME. And then I happen to know the system integrator on this just because I'm familiar with the project and we've been working with them and the GC. So it's going to be Dylan with WME. I just so happen to have his number. System owner. So this, I will go on to the Intel site to figure out who the system owner is. This one, I'd have to go on there. Let me show you how I search for that. All right, so now that I'm on my Intel computer, I have shared the system owner matrix for Ocotillo and Chandler. So the one for Oregon's similar. So you'll see here. I've pulled this up before. You can filter it by building, UPN, system owner. For Oregon, I have my same spreadsheet. So I know this one is part of the MSB building. See if I have 272 as my UPN. See if I don't. Chase, who do you guys usually go to for LSS out in Oregon?
Never really worked directly with them. I think we would just call security, especially for safety showers. You call security and just tell them that you're gonna trigger the alarm on it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an oddball one, because it's just like a general system, the same way that like security would be a general system, depending on building. But let's say we're doing an O on some devices for like the air handlers or like the exhaust system. The tag number would have, instead of that 272, it would have like a 131. And this is where we can pull the primary system owner from and their contact information. So I would just include that in here. In this case, I'm just going to put LSS. The GC and system integrator, they do all of their code development with the system owners and Intel. So if we ever run into a snag, like in this case, I can't find a direct one for LSS, we can just reach out to the system integrator or the general contractor just to confirm who the system owner is. And again, system integration works with them throughout the code development. So we can always just have them middleman it for us. So once I have all of that included, so now he has the system integration contact. He knows it's on the LSS system. Now I need to work with Chase and ask him when he has availability to actually perform these OATs. I also need to make sure that system integration is on board so that we reached out to them and they've given us a day that they can support, maybe even a couple days. I'll go ahead and give Chase a call and say, hey, system integration is available Monday and Tuesday of next week, which works best for you and what time can you be out there to do these safety showers? If he says either day, great. I'm just going to choose one for them. So let's say Monday, we're going to go ahead and perform it at 8 a.m. I will also ask Chase how long he needs to perform the OATs, provide him with all the information. I can send him this in an email and ask him how long he needs, and then block out that time frame on his calendar. I know this one is going to be in the MSB building. I'm going to go ahead and put the job number because he's going to want to know where he can bill his time to. And then I'm going to want to put the safety shower and eye wash station. Oops. So now I have location, job number, a brief description of what he's owning. I can also, if the general foreman was so nice as to give me all of the points that are ready, I can list that here, or I can pull them off of the PMD. I can go in here and just provide him with these instrument tags. So he's going to need that information as well. Sometimes on these projects, let's say only these 2 points are ready to be OATed and these 2 are not. If I'm trying to schedule just part of the PMD, I'll go through and highlight the points that we're actually doing. Same thing on this. If we're only doing partial, I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the points that we are doing. Just try and make it as easy as possible. So I'll go ahead and send this out. I'll include the general foreman on there. Let's, for example, say it was like Nathan Hansen. I'll include the general foreman in there. I'll CC the PM. So let's just throw some names on here just to make sure that they're aware of the work being performed. And then once the OATs are completed, I know Chase in the past has been pretty good at just giving us a text or a call saying it's completed, or reaching out to us saying, you know, X, Y, and Z is still missing. We can't complete the OAT. And then we'll help him get any loose ends tied up. Let's say there's still pressure testing and they didn't relay that to us. So we went out there to go try and OAT these points for the safety shower and eye wash station. Well, now I get a call from our OAT technician saying it's not pressure tested. I can't really complete this OAT. We then have to go to the GC and troubleshoot. So like little things like that will come up. But for the most part, after I send this off, it's scheduled. It's in the OAT technician's hands to complete and sign off, and then just inform us when that's been completed, and then we're done. So any questions on this so far? Okay. Chase, do you want to add anything? Is there anything in this process that we can do to make it easier, provide you with additional information? Do you want to see the information come through any differently? This is your chance.
No, that's perfect for the everything you included in there, especially the PMD, of course. That's like our Bible that tells us what we're doing. The only thing else I can think of is Megan in the past sometimes has to kind of run down or chase down these SIs because they don't sign off their portion
Mm-hmm.
in Exto. And I found out recently that until they sign that off, that's when our like warranty date starts. Is that correct?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, so if I complete an OAT, say today, and that system integrator doesn't sign off their portion of that for another 20 days or something, as soon as I sign it off, I forget about it. I don't even, it's out of my mind. So that's another thing that can always be helped with.
Yep, and I know we ran into that issue when we were still in Latista. So another thing that we can add to this is after Chase has let us know that his portion of the sign off is complete, we can follow up with the GC and our system integration and let them know that we need it green tagged by end of day or first thing the next day. They're just going into Exto or our commissioning software, checking off their portion of it, and then clicking complete. So the important part is making sure that system integration clicks at complete and turns that green in the system. So that's with Exto. We kind of touched on the commissioning software, and we really don't have much in there right now just because Ocotillo hasn't been transitioned yet. It's just Chandler. But once we get to that point, let me see if I can pull that up. So these little items right here, this is what I'm talking about, green tagging. For INC, in here right now, but we're going to have an area here for the INCO. So Chase and system integration, they go in there and they fill out their checklist and fill in any information that's come up during the operational acceptance test. And then system integration will turn yellow when Chase has all his information in there. And then it'll turn green as soon as system integration puts in their information and clicks complete. The other thing we want to make sure we're doing is marking off this INC CC. So construction complete on the INC portion. We can do that as soon as we see the OAT green tagged or we get confirmation from the field that all of the construction has been completed on that. We can go over Exto checklists. at a later date at a separate training. And Chase is going to be helping out a lot with the QA, QC, and commissioning process. So I'll work closely with him to make sure that we have all the information. We'll present the training materials once that's been completed. And we have more examples to actually share with you guys. So that's what he's talking about there. So that was awesome. Thanks, Chase. Anything else that you think we should be going over?
As of right now, no. Are we even going to have data sheets for Eagle? I know like Mod 3, we had none.
There are some for Eagle, yes. The ones that we did for the UPW system, they did provide data sheets, and I only know that because I've been putting together the submittals for them.
Gotcha.
So when that time comes, yes, we'll be attaching data sheets for when the devices come ready.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's a good plan. I'm just
Okay.
always like you said, helping with when things aren't ready in the field when other trades say they are, like the pressure testing example.
Yep. So it's just little things like that, a lot of coordination with the field. And it's going to take some time before you know like what questions to ask when things come up. But another thing I've done, so I'm going to resend this out. But another thing I've done in the past is just created a sticky note on my desktop for any of the items needed for the OATs. So system integration, PNID, data sheets, location drawings, PMD. Sometimes we'll need fiber test reports, but that's only if we're doing it on a panel. But that's going to be, again, separate training. So that's another thing we can do.
Are you covering Rio suds in a different training?
Oh, yeah. So Rio suds, let's not overwhelm anybody yet, but Rio suds and panel tie-ins, that is a whole process in and of itself. And it goes in a very specific sequential order, or else it will get denied. Also, I still need to meet with FMS out there and ask them how they do their tie-ins, because it is not like Oregon where they do it all via e-request and then system integrations involved. FMS doesn't do e-requests. So I got to figure out how they actually perform their tie-in process and see if there's any literature already posted about it. So
Gotcha.
That's a whole thing, and I can't train on it until I understand what the process is. But yes, that will be absolutely separate and maybe even take longer than this.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, anything else?
Not from me.
Cool. All right. So I'll send out my notes on this. Maybe just create a sticky note or a little checklist that you guys can use when you're scheduling OATs, just to make sure, okay, I got this, 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 and this attached. And again, feel free to reach out to either me or Chase if you have any questions, whether or not we're supplying the correct information or not. Cool. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Keep an eye out for me email, and then we will talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a
Thank you,
good day.
Megan.
You too.
Bye.